So last time I left off, the Laurel just got dyno tuned and I've been driving it. It's only been about 2 weeks since then. I haven't had a lot of time to vlog or do anything, but I am going to start off this video with installing something that I've had for the Laurel for a long time. I just haven't had the car in that time frame. So I am going to be swapping out one side of the seat belts and you guys will see why. One other thing that I also got done on the car, which is actually hard to see, but if I open this door, maybe you'll be able to see better. The windshield is tinted. It's actually a really nice, like, subtle hue of a light green. If I show you guys from the inside, you can kind of tell. But maybe I'll pull the car out afterwards and you'll be able to see a lot better. You know, I wanted something that wasn't super dark and reflective like the Chaser. That's a bronze tint, it's 20%. That is 35%, so that's a lot easier to see out of. Eventually, I plan on swapping the tint out on this because I just hate it. It's from my friend Nick Allen. He's actually out of Australia. If you're watching this, thank you so much. I'm just now opening this up after probably over a year. And he also runs 4-door Freaks. So you guys should follow and like his Facebook and Instagram. But we're gonna start off with installing these. I also have something cool to install and throw on the Laurel that's also in the Chaser. And then as promised, I'll do a breakdown on the engine bay, numbers, and if the weather holds off, hopefully we can do, I could drive it down and you guys could hear all the crazy noises this car makes now. It's so good. Everything laid out, but I don't need to replace everything. Had to buy all of it, but this is the side that we're going to replace. So it's the front passenger side. I've never replaced seat belts. Don't know how this is gonna go, but it shouldn't be that hard. The only thing I'm scared of are 90s Nissan interior quality. Every time I've taken apart the interior of a Nissan, something that's broken. So hopefully that doesn't happen on this car because it is very hard to find shit for Laurels. Too bad. I'm gonna have to pop these off the door sills and then get this piece off. And there's an opening here. Should be able to pop this out, swap it out. Hopefully it's as easy as I'm making this seem. But the only way we're gonna find out is by just getting into it and throwing these in. Alright, that's all out. This little connector here. I know it's dark. If I brighten this up, it's just gonna look like shit. So, we won't spend too much time doing all of this. I'm just gonna try and breeze through this and see if I can figure this out. Alright, those are out. Time to put the new one in. Seat belts are in. It was a little annoying trying to figure out the top, but now I just gotta throw everything back on here and I'm gonna show you guys the little trick to this. The reason why I really wanted to do this, and I went out of my way to do this, is because right here in the center, and my car didn't have this before. Not sure why. Maybe this came in the earlier models or mine just wasn't equipped with this option, but it unbuckles there and this swivels up And now it looks like I don't have a pillar, which I don't. And it's completely open in here, which I think is one of the coolest fucking things about C33s, is not having a B pillar. Although if I ever get T-bone, I'm gonna fold like a tin can, but that's okay. This is just fucking cool. So excited. The plan is to find another pair or set and throw it on the other side. And when I park up, I could just do that on both sides. Although I allow this right here, if you see, there's actually, this one, why I think it's weird. Let me turn up the brightness just a little bit. Mine already came with the hook. So that hook there is for the buckle. You just hook it on there. Not sure why I have the hook and not these, but it's really cool. It really locks into place too when you move this up. And it swivels. It's supposed to swivel this way, but it's so cool. Technically speaking, I actually do have another one for the driver's side, but it doesn't match. It's like a brown maroon. That's my old ones. These are black, gray. But I think I'm just gonna throw it in, and then in the meantime, once I find a matching one, I'll swap it out, because I'm very excited to just see the whole thing fully open. Do that real quick now. I think I've become a pro at switching out seatbelts for a C33 Laurel. Super easy. Like I said, I don't have a hook here, so my seatbelt just fell all the way to the bottom. So I will have to, I'm just getting like those little house hooks, 3M on. Probably find a black one. It'll match perfectly fine. And then now it's fully opened. How sick. Next up is throwing this in. So this is a heads-up display. $30 on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description down below. And you could either plug this into an OBD2, which I don't have on either of these cars, or you could use a USB, which what I did with the Chaser is I pulled my head unit out and plugged it in on the back on one of the USB ports, and then ran the wire through the, or the cable through the dashboard, and it worked perfectly fine. I have been running it on the Chaser for a while now, and I like heads-up displays. I'm a nerd for it. I could easily convert kilometers to miles per hour, but this could also easily do it for me, and less thinking for me, although it is second nature for me too to do it. I just like how it looks, and it adds a little cool, like modern yet retro look to the interior. So hopefully all that pulls out apart fine, and I'm gonna throw this in. Jeez, haven't taken this shift knob off in forever. Very easy to pull. Unfortunately, I only have one USB port. Meantime, I ran the USB out from underneath the head unit and just plugged into the cigarette lighter. Gives it power, just so I can set this up, mount it, and then I will find a better solution to this, which sucks, but I'll have to see what I can do later down on the road. This is a mount brand I use. Just get it off of Amazon. This is what's going to mount onto the dashboard, and then this is one of the metal plates that I will attach onto the back of the HUD. So I'm going to set all that up and then throw this on the dash. And what's nice about running the magnet is that I can swivel it, move it around, and then just adjust it exactly where I want it on the windshield. So with the mounting plate on, see, attaches really nice. All right, it's officially on. So this does come with like a reflective piece that you could attach onto your windshield. It's like a little rectangle. I don't have that on a Chaser because my windshield is tinted, and this is as well on the Laurel now, and it seems to also not need it as well. But I think it looks pretty cool. Now let's get into everything that's been done and where we're at and what power it makes. So just to catch everyone up, it's been RB25 Neo swapped. The shop that did it was Team Rocket, and then I had Premier Autosports pretty much finish it, do all the wiring, intercooler piping, setting up the ECU, and then I took it to Sound Performance, as you guys saw in the previous video, to get the car tuned, dialed in, and all set and ready to go. Start off with, I got a front-facing intake manifold. It's an ISR. You know, I know the throttle bodies are huge on these, but I haven't had any issues. I do have to replace the TPS sensor. There's kind of like a dead spot, although it doesn't really affect too much of it. It drives, runs fine, perfectly. And if I try to like really mash on it, that's kind of when you notice a slight lag. Not a big deal. That's a brand new Grady intake filter. All the piping and everything was done by Premier Autosports. The color, like the engine and everything, powder coated and stuff, was actually not done by Team Rocket, but they had someone that outsourced it and they put it together. Turbo. Now the turbo is actually a stock Neo turbo, but I sent it out to a place called G-Pop Shop. Really awesome small business, and they pretty much rebuilt the entire turbo with all billet internals, and it just fucking rips. And I like that it's like a stock location on a top mount. It just would have been too much. I kind of just wanted to get the car done and ready and drivable. This is actually a coolant overflow tank, and this was actually designed by my friends Andrew and Zach. And it's really nice because it fits like OEM and everything. Oil cooler. It's relocated down here. I actually don't mind all the bugs. I actually like the location for where it's at, and the blow-off valve is hidden up here somewhere behind the bumper. I know that some people probably say that the blow-off valve being closer to the intake manifold works better, although I have no complaints, and I had no room to put it right here. You wouldn't be able to get this in or out, and it was hitting, the blow-off valve was hitting over here. Blow-off valve is an HKS SSQV. Some people love it, some people hate it. I think it's cool. It sounds old school, and it fits this car. Mishimoto radiator, ARP head studs, metal gasket. Oil pump has been rebuilt with all billet internals. Essentially, what I wanted to do with this car is make it, you know, improve on the weaknesses of the RB, be cost conscious. I didn't want to be like get too crazy into it. The motor is all stock, so I got the head decked and everything. I also got the intake manifold decked and checked as well. Has a 450 Walbro fuel pump, 1000cc Douche Works injectors. Not sure if I'm saying that correctly. Doge, whatever. DW injectors. It's a very, very simple setup, and it's just clean. This is like really what I wanted, was to swap it an RB25 Neo, pretty it up, improve some of the fail safes of improve some of the weaknesses of the RB, and just have a fun street car. Now keep in mind, I am still on an RB20 trans. I plan on upgrading to an RB25 trans at some point. So the trans is my limiting factor on the amount of power I can push through this. So it has room for more, but we're keeping it as is. We're like at a very almost comfortable, like fun spot without running the risk of breaking anything. One thing that's unrelated to the motor that I want to point out, when I did my Z32 brake upgrade, I actually needed a new brake master cylinder, and I can't remember, but I believe this is off of Nissan Pathfinder, and it bolted right in. Actually found my old dyno sheet from almost 5 years ago, and I'll show you guys what it made back then. Same place, same tuner, sound performance on a Mustang dyno. So this was my old RB25. I believe it was an S2 RB25, and it was all stock, kind of bolt-ons as well. So it made 267 to the wheels and 223 foot-pounds of torque. So you can see the date on this, 2017, December. 5 years later, and mind you, this isn't anything like super crazy, but I'm happy with these numbers, and these numbers will go up in the future once I get my new trans. Same dyno, same place, same tuner, everything. 2022 of August. So this made 347 to the wheels and 284 torque. And I'm happy with that. In this car, it feels pretty good. Into this, the curb weight of a Laurel is 2,900 pounds. It's a big car, but people don't realize how light these are. I also have a fiberglass hood. That shaved a lot of weight. The whole rear end, even the trunk, is fiberglass, and I mean, pretty much this whole fucking car is fiberglass now. And I would say I'm probably a little bit under that now. So for that power and weight, it's a fun car. All right, so we're gonna have Katie here holding the camera. Hopefully the noise isn't too bad, like the wind noise. I don't have AC, so we have to have the windows down, but we're gonna, well, she's gonna try and do her best at recording, so let's get to it. So it feels good, sounds good. The RB20 trans is rated for 400. If I'm incorrect on that, please correct me. I'm pretty happy with the car, and I hope it stays reliable. I really just want to drive and enjoy it for the rest of this year. There's not much left in the season, and kind of just focus on a couple small things to tidy up the car. I do kind of want to respray it, but I'm also going back and forth on what I want to do with this car, or if I want to just leave it as is, enjoy it, kind of beat up, you know, enjoy its imperfections for what it is. It's really low, so I'm always going to constantly break things, and I know that if I respray the whole car, I'd be a little devastated breaking the whole kit within the first week, which is, I have a feeling that's what's going to end up happening anyway. I'm just very happy to have this car back and be able to drive and enjoy it. Sure, some little things will happen here and there, and there's going to be some kinks to work out throughout, you know, the rest of this year, but for now, I've been driving the shit out of it, and it's been fun. Now, if you guys have made it this far, I really thank you so much for watching. I try to pump out content as much as I can. Life is crazy and I have a lot of work obligations, but I do this for fun. And if you guys follow me, you know, and subscribe and everything, it just means a lot. I'm not chasing anything crazy. I just like documenting my cars and journey and everything with them. So hope you guys have a good rest of your day, week, and month, or whatever. Until next time I'll upload, and we'll see you guys next time.